Hi, it is Saturday, the 20th of March, and I'm out at Bussey Woods walking. I love being near the water. I walked 8.5 miles today on the treadmill before I got out of the house. I set an intention today to be deliberate about going and doing something outside of my house. My goal really was to go to the mall, to go to the Apple store, to see if they can fix the problem with my phone. And so I went there, and you have to have an appointment. So I couldn't get an appointment for today. So I decided while I'm out and about, I'll come out to Bussey Woods and I will just enjoy being out in nature, taking a walk. Not doing any running today. I ran a mile yesterday. I walked 6.7 miles yesterday, and I ran a mile. I was contemplating running today, but I've got some new running shoes on order, and so until they come, I think I'm just gonna stick to walking, because I can always tell when I need a new pair of shoes. I start to get a blister on the tip of my second toe, which can be very uncomfortable. So I decided to let me go get some of my little silicone toe socks that protect me from getting blisters, and I'll wear those with my tennis shoes until I get my new shoes. And so until then, I will just walk some more. So I did 8.5 miles at home, and I'll probably get a few more miles in here. I'm thinking maybe I've already walked a mile here, which means I'll at least be at over 10 miles for today, because I still have to walk back to my car. So let me do my MEPS check-in. How I'm feeling mentally. Mentally, I feel okay. I have a little, I don't even know what to call it. I've got some things on my mind. That's what I'll say. I have some things on my mind, and so I'm not just completely clear. And because I have some things on my mind, I'm probably not as content in this very moment. I was doing some reading earlier, which when you have some things on your mind and you're trying to read, it's difficult to really let what you're reading sink in and really connect with it. So I found myself having to read things over and over and over again, because I was just distracted by the things that I had on my mind. So that's me mentally. Mentally, I'm a little distracted because I've got things on my mind. Emotionally, today, I'm actually feeling a little emotional. I actually cried earlier, which was a shock. I don't cry very often. In fact, I think the last time I cried was when my father, the last two times I cried in early August of last year when my father was in the hospital right after he had his stroke. He was trying to help him with something, and I really didn't understand aphasia and how aphasia impacts your ability to communicate. And so I tried to help him with something and it didn't work, and I was just so upset by it. Like, I felt like I set him up to feel disappointed and things like that. And when I left the room, I burst into tears. And so I cried then. And then there was another day when he was in the skilled nursing facility, and his physical therapist called me to tell me what it is that he had done and, the progress that he was making and stuff like that. And so I cried that day, and it was tears of joy. And today, while I was on the treadmill, I was catching up on some shows that I had recorded, and I was watching Grey's Anatomy, and it was an emotional, the show was emotional. The storyline is obviously the pandemic, and, somebody was gotten murdered, and got stabbed and ended up dying after surgery because they lost too much blood, and other people were sick, and it's just like all this emotional stuff and sadness. And so there was some part of that show that something happened, and then all of a sudden I just got choked up, and I just was filled with emotion, and I just found myself bawling. And I'm just like, surely I am not crying like this because of this show, which isn't even real. And so I think it was because I woke up this morning. Normally I wake up and I'm really focused. I'm very intentional about peace and happiness and kind of being in control of my own joy, which is why I wake up in the morning and I start my day very intentionally with gratitude and prayer, and then I go into reading the Bible and doing some type of Bible study and just reading things that kind of speak to my heart, and doing yoga, which brings me peace, and doing some other form of exercise, which is actually a stress relief. And I start my day off with these things because it just starts my day off right. And so if I start my day on a good note, it's just going to permeate all throughout the day, and I have a great day. Well, this morning was a little different. I woke up to the phone ringing, and I answer the phone, and it's like, why are you asleep? I'm like, what time is it? It's 6:50 in the morning. I'm like, it's Saturday. It's 6:50. Why do I need to be up at 6:50 in the morning on a Saturday? And so anyway, in that conversation, it ended up not related to waking me up or anything, but the conversation just got very tense very quickly, and it was just, I just found myself angry on this call, and and the other person was angry on the call as well, and I ended up getting off the phone, and I'm like, why do I want to start my day this way? I don't want to start my day this way. But I still, was like, okay, well, let me go on, let me pray. And I thought, well, let me apologize for getting upset. And, so I tried to apologize. The person didn't answer the phone, but just left a message and tried to go on with my day. And so, not to tell all my business or anybody else's business, it was just the whole exchange just left me a little sad, and left me feeling kind of like with a sense of loss. And so I think when I'm watching this show and it was all about loss, I think that's probably why I got overcome with emotion there. So yeah, so trying to get past that. So that's me emotionally. That's why I'm emotional today. So I'm going to spend more time today just really trying to do things for myself that bring me happiness, and being outside and being in nature. Look at the trees. There's water back over there. The sky is so blue. It just this gives me life. Physically, how am I doing? Physically, I feel good. I'm strong. I got these little silicone toe socks on to help my feet, because I do need a new pair of shoes, new pair of tennis shoes, as I'm on the verge of getting blisters, and walking when you have blisters on your feet is not comfortable. These little silicone socks, they do wonders, so I'm not feeling bad or anything, but I do have like a little bit on the tips of 2 of my toes where they feel a little sore. So even like in yoga today, I was doing yoga, and when you're doing, going from like a tabletop position where you're on all fours, or even when you're kind of laying down on your stomach and you're getting up and you have to use your toes to get up, that like this is a little uncomfortable for me. So physically, for the most part, I feel good, but just on the tips of 2 of my toes, they feel a little bit sore. But I ordered some new shoes, which should come in the next couple of days, and so my feet should start feeling better. I can toss out these tennis shoes that I have. And then spiritually, how am I doing? Spiritually, I feel blessed. It's a beautiful day, and I'm out here in it. I don't have a winter coat on. It's lovely outside. I love being out here. I think I told you guys that I had been feeling a bit of anxiety flaring up, because I had just been in the house too long, and I just wasn't able to do my normal thing, being out and about, just being able to explore and just appreciate the beauty of the land. And so I set an intention for myself to be able to just get out, do something to get out of the house every day. So I'm definitely very thankful that I was able to get out of the house today, and that it's a beautiful, beautiful day, and that I can enjoy it. So how am I feeling spiritually? I feel blessed and connected. What else is going on? Not much else is going on. I feel like I'm losing weight. That was part of my intention as well, is to be kind of like the best version of myself that I can be. I want to be the best version of myself mentally. I want to be the best version of myself emotionally. I want to be the best version of myself physically and spiritually. And so I feel like everything is good on those fronts. I wake up every day in my right mind, not something to be taken for granted. So I'm glad about that. Not everybody can say that, but I can. Most days I wake up and I'm happy. Very rarely do I have conflict in my life, which makes me think of something. I had another call today with my sister, and she was upset about some things, and she had some disappointments from people, and we're like, why don't they do this? And I was like, you know what? You can't control other people. All you can do is control yourself. If you have a problem, you don't have to fix it yourself. Just call a specialist. Have this person go solve this thing. It's quick. Get it over with. And she's like, oh, well, no. Had all these reasons, just want to fuss and complain. And then finally she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to call. So she calls. Then she calls me back, much happier, like, oh, I thought that if I called that person to do this, that it was going to cost all this money. And it's really not expensive at all. And I was like, see, sometimes you just take money out of your pocket and you give it to somebody to solve the problem. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to rely on other people, that you can't control to do the stuff that you need to do. And don't you feel better? So.
I can go rock climbing. Yeah.
That's cute. Kids going rock climbing, excited to be outside. Anyway, I feel like I went off on a tangent there. But long story short, life is good. Life is good. So I'm gonna go and enjoy my walk. See ya.